Hey, what's up? Good morning, good evening, good night, good afternoon, good dusk, good dawn. Whatever time you're listening in from, wherever you're listening from. Shout out to my Spotify listeners, Apple Podcasts, Samsung, JioSavan, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and YouTube. If you're watching in, I appreciate your view. Coming live from my voice to your phone, computer, headphones, car stereo, smartwatch, Bluetooth speaker. It's wild in 2023 that we can converse across time like this. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here right now. Take a moment, be present, and recognize that it's your now, right now. Whether that right now is running, working, exercising, cleaning, laying down, flying, driving, my right now is dropping the podcast. Be grateful we're alive. Failure can be frightening. However, as Winston Churchill reminds us, success is all about going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. And I want to add a quote. Every failure brings you one step closer to success. It's on this business card that my friend Deb gave me. I'm not sure who to credit that quote to, but I like it. It says, I Will Not Lose podcast, where we discuss stories of success learned from failure. I'm your host, Tony Ortiz. I got a reminder to introduce myself and tell what the podcast is about. So I appreciate you for listening in, and I really appreciate you if it's your first time listening in. So let's jump right in. This might go up late because I was going to record on schedule Sunday, but then I remembered it was Super Bowl Sunday. And I'm like, yeah, if I record a podcast and drop it on Monday, the day after the Super Bowl, when all the content streaming the internet is going to be about the Super Bowl, maybe I better do my research and just relax for the night. So did just that, watched the game. I'm not a Philadelphia Eagles fan or a Kansas City Chiefs fan, but I'm from Pennsylvania, so it was pretty cool to see the Eagles in the Super Bowl, get a chance to win their second one. It was really kind of heartbreaking. I wouldn't call it it's a terrible end to the season. They didn't win the Super Bowl, but what a hell of a season. Man, watching them boys play, they earned every bit. They were meant to be there. If they would have won, nobody could have said that they didn't face. But, there were a lot of penalties. They really defeated themselves. It's the Super Bowl, so there's pressure. But this is not a Super Bowl recap of the game. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Super Bowl performance from Rihanna that has everybody mixed with their feelings, and we're going to talk why Rihanna can't fail. My girl Riri cannot fail. So we're going to discuss some of the mixed opinions that they had on the halftime show. If you had a chance to watch it, she was dressed in red, flying super high on a raised platform. People said what they will about the choreography. So I'm going to go into some of the things that were said, then I'll get into my opinion, and hopefully if we get into it, Rihanna's opinion. So there was love. There was hate. Some of the stuff that I saw going around social, her dress, people are split on her attire. Some people said they thought she was dressed really classy, a little bit too conservative. And then, other people thought that it was complete trash. It was trashy. They thought it was a trashy performance. She touched herself. And I think that not having it be family friendly, it might have pushed something. Sex sells, and it has always been a big part of Rihanna. She's an absolute pop star icon, beauty icon. And I don't know. I'm not going to get into my opinion until a little bit later, but some people thought it was amazing. Not amazing that she was touching herself, but didn't think much of it. Thought it went with the performance. There's people who, you have to realize how far Rihanna's come in her career, and she's not as young as she was when she was in the fame. So it makes sense as the evolution to dress in a conservative way. Everybody, I was one too. I thought that she was going to take it off and reveal her stomach. But obviously she wasn't trying to hide her stomach. And Forgive me. I could have sworn Beyonce revealed her pregnancy at maybe a performance or a Super Bowl performance. I can't remember, but I can see why they didn't go that route. It would have definitely been called cliche because I feel like it's been done before. Don't correct me if I'm wrong. This is I Will Not Lose podcast where you're not going to hear news for the first time. We don't fact check everything, but we try. Let's see the comments about she was lip syncing. I mean, you got to get with the program. It's the Super Bowl. It's 2023. Everybody knows by now, every artist lip syncs. And at that level of production, you can't risk somebody rolling a card over one of the wires. I mean, you're setting up platforms that are going to be holding dancers and people moving. It's absolutely ridiculous engineering, everything that comes to put the performance together. And it's your right to have an opinion on whether or not it was good or bad or whether or not it entertained you. But they're not going to risk a live performance or somebody's mic getting cut. So, yep, everybody's going to be lip syncing. So people were, I mean, you're going to be divided. You either understand that at that level of performance, you need to do it, or you say, I would have liked to hear the voice. And Rihanna's voice, it's understandable. You say, I want to hear her sing and her perform. She's a phenomenal performer. And I think we hold her to that level of performance and we're expecting to see, a return. Fireworks, all sorts of crazy stuff, drones. But I don't know. The pregnancy was definitely that's all the focus was on. I mean, it was definitely meant to show her stomach. There's a reason why it was revealed here. And I'm thinking of the timing. I mean, she was announced as the halftime act a while ago. So I feel like they would have had to build this performance around her pregnancy. She didn't look that far along. But I don't know. I guess you would be showing at like 5-6 months. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not going to Google it, but I'm not sure exactly when you show. I know it's not right away. So maybe they knew for a while and built the performance around it. So there's people that were saying that she didn't dance enough. I mean, that's a lot of dancing if you are carrying to the point where you're showing. I mean, that's a lot of physical work. So on the dancing, on whether or not it wasn't the right choreography, I saw a lot of that. I saw a lot of the choreography wasn't right. Or they didn't understand what they were doing with like the red and the purples. And the all white. Thought the funniest thing on the pregnancy, the internet went crazy. They put the line of everybody dressing in the white and they said, this is A$AP Rocky's sperm cells. I was like, oh my God, man, this is hilarious. So this would be A$AP Rocky, another rap star, pop icon, fashion. He's in fashion. They have a child together and I'm assuming this would be their second. So shout out to them. Congratulations, man. That's really cool. It's amazing to get to a point. If you see a lot of these stars have success and then start families afterwards. So, you had all the controversy. A couple of points of the performance I wanted to point out. When they did all of the lights, I thought that was interesting. And I don't know how much of the show was put together, but that essentially being a Kanye song, I mean, the influence of everything that happened with Kanye this year to still have his song at the forefront of media entertainment at the Super Bowl halftime show, I thought was crazy. So they put Rihanna's verse in it. She didn't have any features, so she did do Umbrella and Run This Town, but Jay-Z didn't come out. I think I saw footage. I think he was at the game. So shout out to Jay for saying I'm not performing at the Super Bowl, man. I'm gonna have a good time. Yeah, I thought I saw him out in the crowd, but I was like, there's no way they're going to bring Kanye out. So maybe it was supposed to be a guest feature and they pulled him. Who knows? I thought it was surprised nobody was talking about all of the lights. But I say that to say this. You're not going to please everybody. So there's a good metaphor or saying by Charlemagne the God. Shout out to See the God, Brilliant Idiots and Breakfast Club. But you listen to him, he says you're gonna have, if you put something out and 10 people hear it, you're gonna have 4 people that don't like it, 3 people that like it, and the rest that are on the fence. Well, the people that don't like it, they're already never going to like it. So you need to focus your energy on the people that are on the fence, the people that are rocking with you that like it, like it. Rihanna's fans, I'm sure they love to see the performance. I don't think her fans were disappointed in the performance or thought that she could have went crazier. I mean, if anything, they're happier about the pregnancy, I'd think, if you cared about somebody. And I get it. Rihanna hasn't given us music in a long time. There's a reason for that. And she has so many hits. Imagine being able, 48 Laws of Power, The Absence. Imagine being able to walk away from music for years and come back performing at the largest performance at the Super Bowl halftime show, playing nothing but your old hits and having everybody singing along. Come on, that woman, respect, man. Respect. So going back to what Charlotte said, her fans are already rocking with her. So there's probably some people who are on the fence who, I mean, yes, there are people who aren't familiar with all of Rihanna's music, and her streaming sales as an oxymoron. Her streams are going to go up because of the performance. There's going to be new people that buy the old music, so it resurfaces some stuff. She's relevant to the conversation, so whether or not she decides to announce or drop an album, it's great publicity wise. So I don't think she's really in a losing situation, or I don't think she's reading the comments thinking people said, oh, wow, I didn't dance enough. She's not sitting there in your head. I mean, if you were not a Rihanna fan, and, some of the hate I saw was like, I would have loved to see a real musician, not a pop star, at the Super Bowl halftime show. Listen, every year people complain about the Super Bowl halftime show. It's like we can just throw on this entertainment and see. I mean, they fly drones that are coded in synchronicity. Lady Gaga's I think that was Lady Gaga that they did the year with the drones. But these are memorable moments that they create, that it takes tons and tons of effort and time and people to put this stuff together. And it's like, well, yeah, man, I would have loved to see insert name here. I get it. So it's cool. That's the conversation. I respect everybody's opinion. And if you weren't rocking with Rihanna's performance, that's fine. If you were, that's fine. I'll get to my opinions in a second, but Rihanna doesn't care about what your opinion is. I mean, it might have had divided opinions, but we have to remember she's achieved immense success in other areas of her career. Her makeup line has not only been a commercial success, but it's become like an influential icon in beauty, in the fashion industry, and beyond. It's not only just in terms of revenue, but if you talk about the impact that it's had, it's raised the bar for diversity. So Fenty has a line that works well for tones of women of all complexions. So in addition to getting notes for being able to include, if you notice, I'm pretty sure somebody handed her, what are those little things with the powder, with the makeup? I'm not sure. Somebody's yelling at their stuff right now. I think they're called a compact. Somebody handed her that and she dusted her face. She wasn't sweating because she was performing. That little bit right there made money, both in terms of revenue, stock. I mean, it's a shameless plug. She was plugging the Fenty Beauty, so it's amazing. Absolute trailblazer. She can continue to take creative risks because while we're here talking about her music and her performance, she hasn't actually been a performer, and she's an absolute billionaire. You name one other billionaire that we're talking about how they dance and how they perform and talking about what they used to do. I mean, possibly Jay-Z, but we're not out here talking about Elon Musk and things he did a while ago. Terrible metaphor, don't shoot me there. Don't shoot me there. But Yeah, I did enjoy the Super Bowl. I enjoyed the game. I thought it came right down to the wire, which is what you want to see in the game. Watching the Eagles versus the Giants before that, that game was painful to watch, man. The Eagles are over here playing perfect football, and Giants are just making a few mistakes. Eagles are capitalizing on it, and it wasn't even a shootout. It was just a straight rundown. Eagles scored so much. I don't remember the exact score. That's like ancient history. Super Bowl season is over, or football season is over. But no, altogether entertaining. So what did I think? Those skylines, that there was one shot where she was way the fuck up in the air. There's fireworks going off in the back. The camera was like a low angle, and it's shooting up, and you see the whole crowd behind her, and she was holding, I forget what song she was singing. I was just in the moment, and I was like, wow, somebody choreographed that shot and that thing to go perfect. You saw it in another one. There was a single camera that was on like a wire, and I don't know if it has the capability to go 360, but just for them to time that all perfectly, I was like, wow. I don't care about the dancing, the white suits. I thought the white suits worked well with the light. It was weird how minimalist the performance was. I don't know the choice in that, but I think that if people look back, it might make and this is just my opinion, it makes the performance timeless when you don't have like an exact look or a bunch of different styles. You know, it was a baggy, it was almost that Missy Elliott 90s look. It was very reminiscent of like a Missy Elliott. So they did a lot with the lights and the platforms changing. So although it may not have seemed like there was a lot of choreography going on, you need to be on that platform when it goes up. You need to be where you need to be. You need to just be completely in line. So I thought the performance was amazing. If Rihanna, or well, being pregnant and being able to do that as a billionaire, wow. That's all I could say. That was pretty cool. So were there things I didn't like? Her touching herself. I think it's a bit trashy. I mean, you had not to bring their name into the conversation, but I think it was Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B with the WAP and grinding on each other at the performance. I don't remember if it was the Grammys or what, but you have along with the thing that not everybody is going to like it. Some people are shouting that it's not independence, but freedom of sexuality for women. And there's women that are fighting for that. There's people that would say, you need to be modest. There's nothing ladylike like that. I think someone like Candace Owens had commented on Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B. Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. So you can't lose. Well, if you're a billionaire and you perform at the Super Bowl, you're not losing in any way. But if you have the mentality that, okay, this was a good move, this grew my brand, this potentially got me more listeners, more streams, there's going to be people tuning in, so there's new listeners that I have. Our analytics are looking good after this Super Bowl performance. So is it worth everybody complaining about this part or that part? Maybe some of that stuff was scripted. Everything, maybe they said, we're going to, all you have to do, you're such an icon, Rihanna, that if we put this in the choreography and you pretend would like touch yourself, whatever, it's going to be a huge conversation and more pictures are going to go up or do this. So I'm not sure, but I don't know. That's all I got on that. In conclusion, Rihanna's success with Fenty Beauty has secured her financial stability and established her as a prominent figure in the beauty industry. This in turn means that she can continue to take creative risks in her music career without the fear of failure, regardless if she performs at the Super Bowl and you didn't like it. Rihanna's a true trailblazer. She's a true trailblazer. Sorry, sis. I don't mean to call you a tailblazer. Rihanna is a true trailblazer and a cultural icon. Thank you for tuning into I Will Not Lose podcast today. This is I Will Not Lose podcast, stories of success learned from failure. To support the show, visit the website, shows.acast.com/I Will Not Lose, no spaces. Subscribe on your favorite podcast player, share this episode link, leave a comment. Whatever you do, your contribution is appreciated. Thank you for listening.